Okay, in today's lesson we're going to look at the line tool, grid tools, swatches, and color. So there's a lot here. I'm going to get through this quickly. If you have Illustrator open, there's a couple options here. We added the advanced or extra tool set here. Let's go to Essentials up here in the top right. Click on the drop down. Let's just go to Essentials Classic. So what's good about this is it gives you the control bar up here, gives us some more tools, gives us more panels to work with. We're going to start with the line tool right now. So the line segment tool, if we click on it, same as we did the other day in the last video, you can detach this by clicking on that sidebar to just make this little menu float around, and it's just got all of our line tools visible for us. Can be handy if you want to see all of your options there. So in this one, the line tool, we could also use the keyboard shortcut. Okay, so right now I'm on the selection tool, keyboard shortcut right here for the line tool, the slash, forward slash, or backslash, I don't even know what that one's called, but that'll take you to the line tool. Or you could just go straight to this option here. So when we click on this and drag, it'll highlight here. So we've got options for changing the stroke size. So right now I've just created this line. I want you to create one there as well. Let's click and drag. We'll create another one on the other side. Okay, so now that I've created those two lines, I'm going to do the same thing over here, but I'm going to click and drag. And now I can go to my stroke. This one is highlighted. So I could go on the drop down and we can go to 10. To make this a 10-point line. Or you can click on these arrows to increase the size. Now that I've increased the size on that one, I make another line, and this one is maintaining that same width, so I can change the stroke. Now, if I want to, I could go back to my line tool, and there's an option here. If I hold down Alt, so let's just go to the center of this X. Let's hold down Alt so it starts to draw from the center. So it gives me that feedback. And let's just go to the edge of the circle. I'm going to change my stroke to 5. I'm going to go. So I've got that there. If I want to click and drag, doing the exact same thing, I'm holding down Alt, draws from the center out. If I click and drag and I hold down Shift, it'll go in 45-degree segments. Okay, and then I can grab that ellipse tool, do the same thing. Oops, undo. I'm actually going to draw it right here. You can use your arrow keys to move. So now we've created this wheel. So for the next one, I'm just going to click down here where we've got multiple artboards. Okay, so if you click on the drop, well, I don't know if it's a drop down because it's at the bottom, drop up, I guess. If you click on the one arcs, so the arc tool, anything you draw here will have a magenta stroke and no fill. So let's click on the next one, the arc tool. So we'll just grab the corner piece here. As we start to drag, again, I can change this stroke. I'm going to make it 5. Now, if I click and drag, I can make the arc larger or smaller by using the up or down arrow keys. But now I want to make the same arc on the other side. I click and I start dragging, but it wants to make it the same way. So I'm going to press F on my keyboard to flip this. And now I've got the arc on the other side. So F is to flip. I want to try and get through this a little bit quicker, so I'm going to speed this up. I'm going to go to spirals. So spirals, this you may use once in a while, but let's go to where our anchor is here. And as we click and drag, we can see the number of spirals in here. If I click the up arrow, I can increase the number of arc segments, decrease the number of arc segments. If I hold down Control, I can kind of change the width of it. So I'm not going to spend too much time on this. This is kind of a unique line draw where you might want to create something. Let's say I just create another one and I want to use the reverse of it. I just hit R. Okay, so the spiral, again, there are going to be times when you want to use this. Hopefully you remember these things when you do. Let's go to our grid tools. Grid tools. Now, what's great about this is we can make a simple grid quickly. So I click on the grid tool. As I click and drag, I'm just going to fill up this space here. If I use the arrow keys, I can increase the number of rows. I could, so that's using the up arrow, down arrow decreases the number of rows, right arrow increases my columns, left decreases columns or vertical lines. So let's make one with 6 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then let's click on the other artboard here, which is the radial. So the radial, same thing here. I click and drag, but I want it to start from the center, so I'll just undo. So I go find the center. I hold down Alt. And then I can create this here. I can click, drag, same thing. I can increase the radial dividers or circles. So I can make this wheel as complex as I want here, or just pretty simple. Okay, I know I'm going through this quickly, but I want to keep this time down on this video. Swatches. So let's click on swatches. I'm just going to close this line segment for a second. Let's click and select. So we've got these little, I don't know, petals in this little drawing. If I want to select them all, I'll just hold down Shift to select all these gray petals in this whatever design this is. Now in my new panels that I've added here, we've got one that looks like a little grid, and it's called swatches. So when we select that, we've got some swatches here to choose from. I'm just going to lower this. Now these colors I don't really love. It just gives you kind of the basic color options here. We've got so many other color options to choose from. But quickly, I'm just going to get you to look down here. So these options here, we got swatches library. We can add a new swatch. We can delete swatches. So let's just click on this swatches or swatch libraries menu. When you click on this, I could spend a lot of time on this, but I want you today to look at some of the options here. There are so many different color swatches. We can click on gradients, and we can see all the different kinds of gradients here. We've got earth tones, foods, there's scientific ones, there's ones for the web, there's color books, there's lots here. So I'll let you look through this, but basically when we pick one and then we select it, maybe I'll go with gems and jewels. So here, this option, I can actually take some of these swatches if I want to. Instead of docking that entire swatches list there, I can grab some of them specifically and drag and add it to our swatches. Okay, so now I'm going to select this, and now all of these that I've selected have now changed. Okay, so now let's grab another color. I'm just going to add it in here. So let's add a few more colors using the gems and jewels. So now I'm going to select, well, actually, I guess we would have to, right now it's only allowing us to select these ones because the layers aren't visible, but just change these ones. If you want, you can change alternating. Okay, so you're going to play around with this a little bit today. Let's just go to color quickly. So some of the color options here, again, we can, once we've created our drawing, we can change, we can add colors. So let's just go to our color guide. So we can edit or apply colors. There's tons of options in here. I'm going to go back to our color options. You can put in like a hex code. So this hex code, we did this for our clothing stuff. So if you wanted to, you can find a color. You can sample a color. So let's say I want to pick a color. I could also grab one from my eyedropper tool if I wanted something specific. So I wanted the same color as maybe this. This blue. I guess it's not picking it up because this layer is locked as well. But basically what I'm trying to get at here is we've got lots of options for colors. So I want you to try and find some colors that are not just our default kind of swatches that it just gives you as the 16 different colors I think it is. There's millions of colors out there, so just pick something. That you think is going to look interesting. Again, we're playing around with some of these. And you can play with this today. So you're playing with the colors, you're playing with the lines. For your icons that you were drawing the other day, I would like you to create a new document today. And we're just going to create one artboard. We're going to make it 5 inches by 5 inches. We're going to go create. And I want you to take the line